All right, fair use, fair use. This is your brother Wild Rummy back with another lesson, Lord, would it be edifying? I'll start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahab, Rakakwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, bishops, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. See on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, also in correct doctrine. I'm sending Shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai by their faith. So you got another lesson I want to bring out through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. As you should know, Senator Lindsey Graham was put to death, and a lot of speculations that did Iran do it? Did Russia do it? Did the Mossad do it? And a lot of things that they're putting out there, they really don't want you to really know. And a lot of speculation, I believe, that are correct is that he was hit in Kiev by Russia. Now, this CIA analyst, he goes into pretty much depths about what happened, and we know about the heart attack guns, everything Esau has that they've been using for many years, man. But I want you to take a look and listen to what he has to say about what happened to Lindsey Graham, and it's warmonger.
Suffered a heart attack when he was hearing explosions in Kiev is something he's probably never heard before.
Well, why would they lie about that? Why would they
not really lie about anything? I mean, show me. We just talked about how they're lying about the Strait of Hormuz being open.
Yeah, but
that's one more lie.
Yeah, I'm saying usually there's a reason to lie. You want to lie to make it seem you're winning a war, to manipulate markets.
Yeah, so why? You want to admit that your the number one senator, proponent of Ukraine, died in Ukraine in the aftermath of the Russian military strikes? That doesn't fit the narrative too well. And all I can tell you is I've also heard from people who had access to the Pentagon, to generals in the command center, National Military Command Center. They were walking around talking today saying he died in Kiev.
When did he visit the drone factory? I'm curious. Can you tell me again?
Friday afternoon, but I don't know the time.
So if you visit Friday afternoon, so let me see. Because he might have visited. So when do you think he left Kiev to Poland?
The earliest he could have left would have been the following morning, Saturday morning. But again, think, why would Graham fly 20 hours, fly and take a train for 20 plus hours to do just a tour of a drone factory, and then the next morning get back up and repeat that whole 21-hour journey?
And at all the videos I've seen, analysts, this is the only one that really makes sense to me. I believe that he was hit in Kiev in a drone factory because that factory was destroyed. And like you said, he might have had a heart attack by hearing those missiles that was shot by Russia over into Kiev. Now, a bunch of these videos, man, show you that Lindsey Graham was pretty much a warmonger, man, war hawk. And he's always talking about killing other people. And now the Lord called his number. Now check this out.
And everybody's going to point the finger at Russia because he just met with Zelensky in Ukraine, vowing to slap sanctions on Russia and further fund Ukraine into this war to help defeat Russia. But what they're failing to recognize is the latest Face the Nation interview. That is where he completely switched his side. He said, I agree with funding $300 billion to Iran, and I'm also recognizing Palestine. You do the math. You let me know who you think is behind the killing.
And see, that's where the small caps come into play. Was they behind it? So it's a lot of different scenarios that might have happened to put this man to death. But, he's gone. he won't be coming back until he's in chains. Now, check this out, man. Lindsey Graham dies at 71 after a brief and sudden illness. Now, like I said, I'll show you the first video. That made the most sense. Now, check this out.
So Lindsey Graham is dead. He was 71 years old. These things happen, right? At least that's what I thought until I saw that he was in Ukraine yesterday. Not only was he in Ukraine, he was touring a drone production facility in Ukraine. And apparently, Russia bombed this production facility. They claim it was completely destroyed. However, there's no confirmation of that just yet. But we do know for a fact that around the same time that Lindsey Graham was in Kyiv, Russians launched missiles there. I'm just saying the timing is incredibly odd. Apparently, Lindsey Graham had just left the facility before this attack happened and was on his way back to the United States, where he died basically an hour later after getting home. But he looked like he was in good health. Watch this video.
Back to Washington. I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal.
He seemed like he was in great health for someone who died basically the same day as that. And if he's that terminally ill, why is he doing international travel? So far, I have looked, but I cannot find any confirmation or pictures of him on a flight, landing back home, any flight logs. I can't even find pictures of him at a hospital or paramedics getting him from his house. Again, I am not saying that it didn't happen or that he did get blown up in that drone factory. I'm just saying I have not seen any proof that he was in America. Laura Loomer is rushing to accuse Russia and Iran of poisoning Lindsey Graham, which they would have had some great opportunities because Lindsey Graham is known for doing some weird activities whenever he's visiting other countries. People do just randomly die of heart attacks. It does happen. It's not like the South Carolina diet is known for being a healthy one. But the timing is extremely weird. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter.
So there you go. That makes the most sense that he died in that factory over in Kiev. Because like he said, man, he was in good health. How you going to die suddenly like he did? But they're going to cover it up because Russia has pulled off the gloves, man. They pulled off the gloves. And they're not hesitating anymore to attack. And this right here is going to spark fear in a lot of these politicians that travel freely over to these different countries and speak rhetoric against the bear. So this right here shows you that they're not going to tell you everything, man. You're going to find this by war, man. You're going to see that this man has pretty much made enemies, and now those enemies are ready to attack and destroy him, man. Now, let's check this out.
So check this shit out. Lindsey Graham is dead as a doornail. And you want to know when he died and where he died? Oh, he died over in Kyiv within like hours of visiting this drone facility in Kyiv that was manufacturing drones that were hitting deep inside Russia. Right after that, Russia announced that they had struck drone facilities in Kyiv. So most likely, Lindsey Graham was down below getting it on with a few little boys and took one in the wazoo, if you know what I'm saying. Now we have foreign leaders that are done playing these games with the U.S. Oh, you used to be safe going over to these war zones? Oh, you used to ride over there with your favorite country music singer and put on a show? Keep doing that. How about Ted Cruz? Why don't you go take a trip over to Kyiv and check out these drones? Somebody's got to investigate Lindsey Graham. At least 5 of our most powerful politicians need to go over to Kyiv and demand an investigation. And then you might as well tell Russia that you're over there visiting those drone facilities because the rest of the world doesn't give a fuck. What just happened, what it seems like, is that Russia said you want to fuck around and find out? They just wiped Lindsey Graham off the fucking map for the entire world to see because they don't give a fuck. Look at this was Lindsey Graham. They told us it was a brief illness. He was overcome by a brief and something illness. How is it brief? The fucker's dead. That's about as permanent, that's as far from brief as humanly possible, but I digress. This was Lindsey Graham, just hours before he miraculously was overcome by a brief illness. Check this out.
I'm pleased to announce, as of about 30 minutes ago, we've reached agreement with the White House on a version of the Russian sanctions bill that they will support. It means it's going to become law. So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war.
And you want to know why the U.S. is terrified that anybody finds out the truth about Lindsey Graham? Because Russia, a foreign country, just assassinated a U.S. senator. They roll around in fucking motorcades. And if you all of a sudden, if Russia had the green light to do it, do you know how many countries probably would love to? When they see these assholes over on their fucking turf trotting around, oh, we're going to put a military base in your fucking backyard. And these countries are like, yeah, we don't think we should do that. You know, normally it's like, this is Sparta, right? You come into fucking Rome and you make fucking demands, or you come around our territory and you make demands. This is Sparta, right? That's how the world wants to fucking treat America, but it's been gloves on. Well, if Russia's able to do it, is it time to take is the rest of the world, is the United States government terrified that if anybody finds out that Russia assassinated Lindsey Graham, that all of a sudden, all around the country, every time our politicians go to these places, they might just not be safe anymore? I think so. Let me know what you guys think.
And that's true, man. None of these politicians are safe anymore. World War III is at the hottest point you ever seen in your life, man. World War I, World War II, the scriptures tell you, talk about three woes. And this is the third woe. Now, Iran put on their news that it was Lindsey Graham was a target. So this is the first thing that Babylon is pretty much trying to put them in a situation where it's pretty much a full-fledged war, because they had a target on they had a target for Lindsey Graham for them to just pretty much assassinate, just as well as they want to do the same thing to DJT. Now this is Iranian news. This is the national news that came out and said that Lindsey Graham was in hell. Now check this out.
عرض کنم به درک واصل شدن لیندسی گراهام، سناتور جنگ طلب و ضد ایرانی آمریکا رو به ملت بزرگ ایران شاد باش عرض کنم.
News coming out this morning that the FBI is investigating the sudden death of Lindsey Graham that took place overnight. As we're hearing, the IRGC is now claiming the assassination of Lindsey Graham, and they are now claiming there will be more that will be assassinated, including President Donald Trump. Now, this has not yet been confirmed, but this is being spread out by Iranian state media. Let's go and take a look at the latest so that way you can see it for yourself. Was Lindsey Graham poisoned by Iran or Russia? Conspiracy theories swirl after the U.S. Senator's sudden death, and this was, we heard, in the last 24 hours, he had just returned back from Ukraine. Now, take a look. Lindsey Graham dies at 71. Trump says that he was like family. Now, Iranians celebrate the death of Lindsey Graham. He went to hell. And Lindsey Graham, sent to hell. Iran State TV congratulates citizens after the U.S. Senator's sudden death. They are claiming that he was hit and assassinated. And you can see this being released as well. They have their hit list out here. You can see number 1, Donald Trump. Number 2, Benjamin Netanyahu. And the last one on the list, Lindsey Graham. So they're claiming that he was a hit that was carried out. Now, is this factual? Is this true? Let me know. Did Lindsey Graham die of sudden causes, or was this an assassination by Iran? Now, in addition to that, we saw, take a look here, Lindsey Graham dead at 71 hours after returning from Ukraine. We're also seeing breaking news. Did Russia poison Lindsey Graham? So there is speculation beginning to swirl because it's very sudden, very unexpected, and now we have the IRGC claiming the death. Now, the FBI, as I mentioned, is currently investigating. They are assisting now, trying to get information regarding the passing of Lindsey Graham, because there is concern about what has unfolded here. Senator Lindsey Graham was a devoted public servant, a fierce defender of our nation, and a true patriot who dedicated his life to the people of South Carolina and the United States. Our prayers are with his family, his loved ones, his colleagues, and all those who knew him during this devastating time. The FBI is assisting local authorities and has made every necessary resource available. And in addition to that, you can see here, live updates. The U.S. conducted another round of strikes on Iran. I shared this with you last night. Trump and the Supreme Leader are exchanging threats as we speak. We actually saw retaliation take place last night as well. Iran hitting back, and we're hearing things are just simply escalating with the conflict in the Middle East. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. A lot of breaking news unfolding over the course of the last 24 hours. We're going to be diving in.
Now, it don't make sense that they poison him. How would they get that close to him in Kiev when Russia and Ukraine has a war, ongoing war happening right now. I don't think that Russia got to them and poisoned them. And I believe that that Iran claimed they pretty much assassinated them because Russia used one of their drones. Because everybody knows that Iran has been supplying Russia with drones for this Ukraine war. And I believe, just by what the CIA analysts and the other guy information he brought out, it just makes sense that they hit him in that drone factory when he was over there, over in Kiev. Now, this information that April Silverman brings out, it pretty much shows you that Lindsey Graham was pretty much put to death by Russia, man.
We've reached agreement with the White House on a version of the Russian sanctions bill that they will support. It means it's going to become law. So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war. There's some things we can do on the technology front to build on the lethality of Ukraine to protect itself from ballistic missile attack. If we did that, combined with creating tools to punish those countries that prop up Putin, that make money off this war, then I think we've got the best chance since I've been coming here in the last 5 years to get Putin to the peace table.
Now, see, these the Russians, the bear, which the scriptures refer to him as, they're not sitting down and just letting him go over and talk recklessly and put sanctions on them, hurting their economy and hurting their people by just sanctions. And they didn't let him get back to Babylon the Great, because these nations know it's time for war, man. Scriptures speak about the time of war. They're not holding back. They're not holding back anymore. Full-fledged. Like today, Yemen just attacked Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. So the Battle of Armageddon, World War III is basically right now, man. It's happening right now. Until it get hot, when the big players get into it with China, North Korea, and Russia, they get into the Middle East and start to attack the European Union, the NATO allies. This is what's at the door, man. That's a quick 21-second video. Shows you that they X'd him out, man.
Thank you very much. Big for you here. Yeah, just tell me when I can talk. But good visit with the president, right? Yeah, I think that we had a really good meeting. Yeah, the big good to see you. Welcome.
It showed you that he was over there, so it ain't denying. Like the CIA analyst, he just pretty much told you that there's no way he would travel 20 hours, stay there, go to a drone, and then the drone factory, then turn around and go 20 hours back to America. That's impossible for an older 71-year-old man to do. So this shows you that he more than likely died in Kiev by attack on that drone factory he just visited, and they attacked as soon as supposedly as soon as he left, or he died in the attack, man. And he, they're saying he had a heart attack by the bombs that was falling around that factory. But I mean, we're gonna we ain't gonna really know the full scope of it until this place is destroyed. Now, Lindsey Graham was a war hawk, man. He was a warmonger, and he believed that what he was doing was for his own people, man, with the Edomites. He wasn't doing it for no America. He was doing it for the small caps in himself. Now check this out. Now listen to how he speaks.
We flattened Gaza. Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo.
So this was U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. He just died at the age of 71. This will be remembered as his legacy.
Many people in this part of the world say what happened in Gaza does not align with Christian values. Killing children, killing mothers,
I'll be honest
killing
with
families.
you.
We're not militants.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
Why?
Because what did we do in World War II? Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city into smithereens? So
This is a war. No, this
October
is
7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people.
And then they flattened Gaza.
Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we? So, my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way. Without military victory, there is no hope of breaking radicalism. We flattened Germany. We flattened Japan.
So he's talking about all the death and bombing and killing that his people has done. He doesn't have any care in the world about your family, your friends, or none of that, man. See how he said they flattened Gaza, they flattened Berlin. See, he has no respect for any other person. So why do you think the Lord is going to let these Edomites get away with what they've done and then bragging and boasting about it? See, that death and destruction is coming to them, and they have no clue about this. Now listen to this. Listen how he boastfully speaks about him murdering and killing other people, man. See, these Edomites never think that this is going to turn on them. You see them boasting about what they did to Japan. Now listen to this.
America First is to kill people who wish us ill. I feel good about the Republican Party. We're killing all the right people. We're cutting your taxes. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II. You just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks. We're going to blow the hell out of these people. We're in a religious war here. I am with Israel. Do whatever the hell you have to do to defend yourself. Level the place. Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end their existential threat war? Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel, do whatever you have to do to survive as a Jewish state. Iran's going to have a choice in 2 to 3 weeks. You either do a deal where you get out of the business you're in, or we're going to blow your stuff up. Our friends in Israel are surrounded by people that want to kill them, destroy them, a second Holocaust in the making. What is the proportional response to people who want to kill you and your family? Gosh. They're running out of ammunition in Israel. We have to help our friends. I go back to South Carolina. I'm asking them to send their sons and daughters over to the Mideast. To our friends in Israel, God bless you. I'm with you in every way. To all the anti-Seminites, to all the isolationists, forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. There's no better partner on the planet than Israel. God bless Israel. All right. We should move all our stuff to Israel. Thank you.
So he was a big supporter of the small caps. And all he cared about was the small caps because that's who was funding them. Now that you see that his rhetoric has spread pretty much all over. Everybody knows how he spoke, man. That's why the Iranians say he's in hell. But there's no such thing as hell. But the point is that what he was speaking and how he spoke against other nations, that's how they're going to speak when they come to destroying Babylon the Great, man. They're going to say, wipe it off. They're already saying death to America, man. Those other nations. So when they destroy Babylon the Great, they're going to cheer that the destructions came to Babylon the Great, man. And this is the Lord's plan to do, to wipe Babylon off the planet, man. And this is their judgment. This is Ezekiel 35. Just hit a couple scriptures. That's all I got. This is Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, I will prepare thee unto blood." And see, this is what the Lord is doing, man. He's preparing Esau to wreak that same blood. He was bloodthirsty. He desired to have everybody's blood. This is what the Lord is preparing him for, the other nations to have his blood. He says, "Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee." See, Esau didn't hate blood, man. He loved to kill and murder and destroy other people, man. Now the shoe is finna be put on him. And everyone else, the other nations are going to enjoy destroying him, man. Seeing him die and be destroyed. Verse 7, it says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate." See, Mount Seir, Esau. It says most desolate, and cut off from him from him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains, and with him his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. See, all that fall by the slain of the sword, man, because they're going to have a draft. They already planned for December. They're going to have pretty much a draft that's going to have men and women be pretty much called up for war. And it might be called up before then because things are getting hot. But this is his slain men. His army is going to be destroyed in the Middle East. Verse 9, it says, I will make thee a perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. See, he's going to know that the Lord is doing this to him. He's going to know that the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua was against him, man. And that's why we wanted our people to repent to the Lord, man, because the Lord is going to shake his hand over Babylon the Great, man. He's going to shake his hand over Esau Edom. This is Psalms 11 in verse 4. It says, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is in his holy temple. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyes try the children of Ben. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. See, him that loveth violence. And Esau loved violence, man. You can see just in them videos how he loved violence, man, how he loved to shed blood. It says, upon the wicked shall I rain snares. See, those traps, man. The Lord is going to put him in traps that he can't get out of. And that's what the Lord is doing now. He's setting him up to go into World War III without a plan, man. To send these troops in there to be slaughtered, man. It says, upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone. That's the nuclear destruction. And horrible tempest. See, a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. See, this is the judgment of the Lord for Esau Edom, man. This is the portion of his cup. Let me get this in the NLT. It says, Psalms 11 and 6. It says, he will rain down blazing coals and burning sulfur, just like in Sodom and Gomorrah, man. He always preferred Babylon the Great to be destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. It says, he will rain down blazing coals and burning sulfur on the wicked, punishing them with scorning winds. That's the beast of destruction, that nuclear wind he's speaking about. It says, for the righteous, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua's love justice. The virtues will see his face. See, the virtuous will see his face, and that's the elect. So Esau's destruction is at the door, and the Lord is holding back the destruction to the elect is sealed, man. This is Psalms 10, and start at verse 2. It says, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. See, he sees every other nation as poor. And that's why he persecute these nations, man, to steal their resources, to steal their everything they have, all the resources, and even steal the people, man. It says, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. See, they imagine to destroy you. And that's what the Lord is going to put on them. The imaginations that he has against you, this is what is going to be done to Esau Edom, man. It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire. You just heard that devil, man. He was boasting of putting leveling this land, leveling that land. We did to Nagasaki and Hiroshima, dropped nuclear bombs. All these things he said that that should happen. But see, the Lord is going to change the power structure, man. Now Esau is in power, but it's going to be flipped. He says, the wicked boasteth of his heart desire, and blesseth the covetous whom Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua bore. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after power. See, the wickedness, he thinks he's God, man. He's not going to seek after the Lord, man. He said, God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. See, he was damn near right on the border of Russia, boasting about putting sanctions and destroying Russia by putting sanctions on them and destroying their economy. And they didn't let him get away from them, man. They didn't let him get away to come back to bring that to the table for DJT, man. So Russia just pulled off the gloves, man. They're not going to come on the news and say, yeah, Russia is going to kill this. They ain't going to come on the news and say that, man. The scriptures say they're going to be caught off guard, man. It's going to come on them like a thief in the night. And that's what judgment is coming, man, like a thief in the night, man, catching them off guard. They're not going to come on the news and say, oh, well, we're in World War III. We're going to send troops. They're not going to say that, man. It's going to happen all of a sudden, man. It's going to catch these people off guard, man. This is Psalms 5 and verse 4. It says, for thou art not a power that have pleasure in wickedness. See, the Lord doesn't have pleasure in wickedness, man. Neither shall evil dwelleth with thee. And the Lord is not dealing with Esau, man. The Lord is setting him up to be destroyed. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. And that's all he does, man. It's sin, man. And Lindsey Graham was a big mo. He was a big mo. And that's why he said that probably was the other guy was saying in that video, he probably was up under there trying to get one of them kids, man. So these devils, man, they love to break, rob, and murder, man. This is their MO, man. Psalms 5 and 6, it says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. See, they speak leasing. Yahweh Shem Yahushua will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. See, this man is a bloody and deceitful man. NLT, it says, you will destroy those who tell lies. And that's all he's done, man. Lindsey Graham shows you, and then DJT, he'll just make up some shit on the news. And people will believe it, man. They tell lies, man. This is how the Edomites are, man. This is how we can tell you exactly who the Edomites are. It says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua detests murderers and deceivers. See, the Lord detests murderers and deceivers. So the Lord is not with no Edomites, man. He is against the Edomites. And this is how it's going to be, man. When the kingdom of heaven is established, Esau is going to be under the elect feet, man. The Israelites' feet. You blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. So there's no way you should have any feel any sorrow for Esau, man, because he's ruled in wickedness, man, and the Lord is going to judge him for what he's done. This is Proverbs 6 and verse 17. It says, a proud look and a lying tongue and hands that shed innocent blood and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to run to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brothers. My son, keep thy father's commandments and forsake not the law of thy mother. See, the Lord gave the law, statutes, commandments to the children of Israel. No other nation that was given those law, statutes, commandments, man. So what he's done, Esau, this is like I said, this is an MO, man. Let me start at verse 16. This is Proverbs 6 and 16. It says, these 6 things doeth Yahweh Shem Yahushua hate, and the Lord hates. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, someone is proud, man. Can't tell him shit. A lying tongue, someone always lying, making up shit. Like Esau, man. It shows you this damn this describing him to the T. But our people have taken after the ways of Esau, man. He says, in hands that shed innocent blood. See, Esau sheds innocent blood, man. They went over in this level, like he said, they leveled them over in Gaza. Just level them over in Berlin, level them. And that's just a couple places that you can just name off the top of your head, but there's other places like Iraq. It was a million Iraqis that died in when they went and said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. So this goes to show you, man, that this man is the devil, man, and the Lord is against him, man. Verse 18, it says, and heart that devises wicked imaginations. See, they imagine wicked imaginations, man. How are we going to destroy them? How are we going to level them? How are they going to flatten them? How are we going to put sanctions on them? A lot of people died just by sanctions that Babylon put on people, man. He says, the heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that are swift to run to mischief, a false witness that speak of lies, man. So they'll make up some shit like he did. Weapons of mass destruction. They know when them weapons of mass destruction. But it went over and killed all those people anyway. Now Iran, they create nuclear weapons. They wasn't trying to make any weapons of nuclear weapons. But that's the narrative. They put this propaganda on the news to get people to be naive to what they're doing in the background, man. Because they've always said that Iran was the last enemy to take down. Verse 19, it says, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brothers. It says, my son, keep thy father's commandments, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck. So for us, this what the fringes are for, to keep these laws, statutes, commandments always on our mind, man, not to fall from the grace of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. This is Psalms 64 in verse 5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune to lay snares privily. They say, who shall see them? See, and that's what they think. They don't think the Lord going to see what they're doing, man. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both their inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua power, shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And that's how the Lord gonna catch them off guard, man. They think they're gonna rule forever. They think no one is gonna be able to come against them, but suddenly it's gonna happen. And that's why the Lord is not letting anybody know, unless you're a part of the elect, that you're seeking the Lord, man. Everyone else is gonna be caught off guard. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And that's what Lindsey Graham did. He caused his tongue to fall upon themselves, and that's why I believe the Russians took them out, man. It says, all that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of power. See, everyone is going to know the Lord is judging Esau. Everyone is going to know that, man. It's not going to be hid. Oh, that was the Russians, or that was the Iranians. No, they're going to know the Lord brought judgment on Esau, Edom, in Babylon the Great. It says, for they shall wisely consider of their doings. See, they're going to wisely consider this. They ain't going to think that another nation did that. They're going to know this is the Lord. It says, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and shall trust in him. See, and that's the elect. We're trusting in this word, man. We're trusting in the scriptures, man. It says, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. See, all the upright shall glory. And that's the elect, man. That's why we praise the Lord constantly, man. Bringing out these lessons, continually studying, putting forth our faith in the Lord. Because what's going to come to a Babylon the Great, no one is going to escape it. So I'm going to end it there. Lord, when it was edifying. Shalom.